Head over to BoardGamePrices.com to find the best price on Lovelace and Babbage and thousands of other games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going back in time where we're going to be trying to make the first computer, a mechanical computer. But it's not just one person, it's two. It's Lovelace and Babbage. This is a game come out by Artana Games. It is a sort of a real-time mathematical filler game. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you at the other side. In Lovelace and Babbage, players are going to take on the roles of historical figures like Ada Lovelace or Charles Babbage. They're going to have cards that are going to allow them to unlock subroutines over the course of the game and give them special abilities. The game is played over 4 rounds. Each round, players are going to be making mathematical computations trying to get to numbers that match different patrons that are out there. Now there's a certain amount of patrons depending on the amount of players. With 4 players here, we have 7 patrons out there. The game board starts with 8 different operators. These are printed on the board here, and these are different operations that you can use during this game. Now here it's showing you plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 5. This is showing you taking 2 numbers and actually swapping them. So like a 46 would become a 64 or vice versa. Plus or minus 10, 20, 50, or divide by 2. So these are the normal operations that you start with every game, but new ones will come out as I'll show you. Now this is a real-time game, so once everyone's ready, you'll say go, and players will start to create their own computations on their own pad. Everybody has one of these. So let me show you what I might do first. Maybe I write A2 minus. Now, everyone starts with the number 55 at the beginning of the game, and we look at A2. We have A2 is the number 2, and we're going to minus. So what that's telling us is we're going to minus 2 from this number. So from 55, we do A2 minus, which is minusing 2, from 55, and we have 53, because that's going to allow me to quickly and easily get to Janet Taylor. However, you're going to want to be fast because we'll show you just a minute later why you want to be fast, but everyone's kind of sort of rushing this through a little bit. Now, as soon as someone is done, they will take the first player marker, which is the timer, which is not running at this point, but they will then flip it, which will give everyone else 60 seconds, and they'll place this timer in front of them. That's the first player timer. Now, as other players finish, they will take these so you know what player order players go in. If the time runs out, then players need to stop. Then, each player is going to go line by line, 1 line at a time in turn order based upon which turn order the token they took. So in this case, I'll say out loud A2 minus for 53. And since I was the first one to get this, I can choose which one of these 2 icons or paths of knowledge to take. And these are just sort of paths that you're looking to have the most of at the end. So I took the lightning bolt. If I'm the highest on this, I'll get 9 points at the end of the game. If I'm second highest, I'll get 4. So now I want to try to make sure that I keep that lead on others. But since I was the first one to get to this patron, I'd flip it up showing that this was the only icon left. So if somebody else got this, they essentially would have to take this icon, and then this would get flipped like this, and then if anybody else gets it, they'd have to use this summation mark, which essentially is just a consolation of 1 point each time you do that. So now each player is going to do that, again, going line by line in turn order. Look at this, I did B2 to 73, then brought it up to 93, which allowed me to get this patron. Then I went down to 91 and down to 90, and I got this patron. So I got 3 patrons that round. So at the end of my first round, I might have had these 3 things checked off. And whatever number you end with starts your next round that you're going to be working off of. Now, in addition to those patrons, you also have your own special cards that you start with depending on which historical character you are. And at the beginning of each round, you actually get to pick one of these subroutine cards, and they have different numbers. So you can pick this one, you actually do this before each round, but if you're able to hit that number, it unlocks an ability that you can use once per game, like all opponents take 1 less operation this round, so they get 1 less turn. This one's during a round, take up to 2 operations above your current limit, so you get to do more calculations. They do all certain things like that, but it gives you another thing to shoot for. Now you'd get new patrons each round, but also each round for the second, third, and fourth round, more operators are going to come out. And as you can see, a lot of these are a lot harder to do math with, like the 17s, the 34s, the 39s. Some of them allow you to set it right to a number like 99, 0, or 66. Some of them allow you to, again, use that last number as the first number. So like if it was 92, it would now be 22, things like that. And if you use one of those new gears in rounds on rows C, D, or E as the last sort of thing that got you to one of those patrons, you actually will get points for those 1, 2, or 4, depending on that at the end of the game. So that's pretty much how the game's played. After 4 rounds, you're going to get points for all of the majorities that I mentioned that you'll have. Any summations of 1 point that we showed you how those work. These are the subroutine cards, so all of your little character cards that you've been able to activate, you'll get a certain amount of points if you get those. And we told you about those, you'll add all them up. Whoever has the most points is the winner. All right, first thing I like about this game is the historical theme. I typically love games that have realistic themes and unique ones, and this is that. I love it. They give you a lot of info about Lovelace and Babbage themselves, and just learning about that was phenomenal. The presentation, Artana knows how to make games look awesome, and this is no different. The art, the graphic design, excellent here. This, I liked it that it was a very mathy puzzle. Some people would hate that, but I love it. You're trying to figure out how to use these different operators to try to get to the certain numbers. I like that more operators come out each round, so you have more and more options. But those ones tend to be a little bit more complex, but if you're able to finish one of your numbers on those, you get some extra bonus points. The subroutine ability cards are really cool. At the beginning of the round, you're trying to choose one maybe just for the ability that you want to unlock next round, or maybe for the number that card is because you're looking at what you left off last round. You're like, oh, I could possibly easily get to this one. Really cool to use those abilities as well. And it is a timed game, but it's only really timed after the first person finishes. So everyone's not frantic, but you are moving fast. It does feel like a real-time game, but the timer doesn't start till after, so you don't have to go crazy right off the bat, I'd say. Now, picking the patrons is cool because when you're able to get a number, you choose which track you want to go up. But if someone's already got it, you won't be able to get that one. That's a cool aspect as well. And you try to look at where you're going to be for majority scoring. Overall, this is a great, heavily thinky, crunchy, quick filler game. On the negative side, the game is super mathy. And the mathy nature of this is going to turn a lot of people off that just don't like math. And on top of that, it's a real-time game. So you're doing math quickly. If you don't like doing math and you don't like real-time games, this game is not for you. But if you like either or both of those, you're really going to like it. If you like both math and real-time, which I do, you're going to love this game. And for that, all these reasons, it's going to stay in my gaming library. So it's going to get a saxophone serenade. So we're going to induct it properly with that. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you'll love. Did you miss the Game Topper 2.0 Kickstarter? Have no fear, it's not too late to get in on the ultimate gaming accessory. Convert your table into a high-quality gaming table with a fully portable Game Topper system and take advantage of some of the best 3mm premium gaming mats in the industry. New styles, new sizes, and new accessories can be yours. Upgrade every game you play by late backing now at GameToppersLLC.com.